Francisco 49ers and the Detroit Lions. With that, let's head inside Ford Field in Detroit. We're standing by are the two men who will bring you this one, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Tonight, it's the NFC's turn to take center stage as we've got a wild card matchup on tap between the San Francisco 49ers and the Detroit Lions. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the postseason on EA Sports. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, that's really all I need to say to get you fired up. It's the postseason on EA Sports.
And no one's more fired up than the guys who are going to be playing in this game. This is what they fought for all year long. Go back to the OTAs, the mini camps, training camp, throughout the season to get to the playoffs. Intensity level will be off the charts.
Winner go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC wildcard game. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
And he'll be corralled right around the 34. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. Throwing on first down. Morrow. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Morrow. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 47. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Now this offense about ready to take over again. And work with me here. Is this overhyped or not? You've got a warm weather team on the road in January, and it's cold. What's the deal? Is that a factor or is it not a factor?
I think a lot of it depends on the personality of your head coach and how you prepare for things. And some things you just can't prepare for. If you're coming from a warm weather site, You can't make it cold enough like it is here in this ball game. But what you can do is just tell the guys, dress for the weather, and then play like we always play. And as the game goes along, typically those guys out there playing, you warm up enough that it really shouldn't affect you quite the same way. Now, if that's all you talk about, if you put that in the heads of your players, it'll affect them in a big way.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They go play action here on 1st down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
So here come the Lions now. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
How about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And it's knocked away and incomplete. And the 49ers on the defensive side of the football.
However you measure DeForest Buckner, 6'7", 6'8", it really doesn't matter. He looks like a basketball power forward. And the one thing that he always focuses on and concentrates on is leverage. How does he drop his pad level so he can get down there and compete with the blockers of the NFL?
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Green 39! Green 39!
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Morrow got his man complete over the middle. That's Warner. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
On 1st and 10, Morrow looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Bates, and he'll get it down to the 47 here. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Operating from the gun, Morrow. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd.
All right, here we go.
Looking to throw. Morrow. And that is incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Garoppolo looks to throw. Going for the deep ball. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 47. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
To throw again. Morrow firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, Morrow. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. So 1 quarter in the books here the opening weekend of the NFC playoffs. 0-0 our score. We're back to the Motor City after this. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
2nd quarter now. Brandon Gaud and Charles Davis with you. It's the 49ers in control of the football. They've got it 1st and 10 inside their own 20-yard line. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 13. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there.
They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do
Let's
it.
go! Blue line it!
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And the athleticism on the spin move allows him to pick up the first before he's brought down. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So 1st and goal and an opportunity for our first points in this wild card game.
Now let's go! Blue line it!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
Operating from the gun. Morrow. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
From the gun, Morrow. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. There's a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd went to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
And his kick is good. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
Jimmy Garoppolo and his offense heading back on the field. So with the 3 interceptions, how does he erase those from his mind and just focus on this drive?
I think he may need some help from the coaching staff. Maybe the offensive coordinator says, okay, let's do a few of the shorter throws, quick rhythm throws where the ball's out of his hand quickly into a receiver before the defense can react. Maybe not take so many shots downfield, just in case. Get your confidence back up, and then later on, you expand the targets again.
The KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. Right?
I love it. I love it.
It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit. But only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
After the false start, sets up a 3rd and 9.
Here we go.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off right around the 43. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Yeah, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Off-play action. Morrow into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30, and the return stops at the 39-yard line.
Well, from what we've seen thus far, this is not a formula for winning football. When you have more turnovers than points scored, that's a tough way to try and win a game.
Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. He struggled. His team has struggled. You talked to me a lot about looking to your leaders. Maybe it's time for him to put his mark on this game.
Agreed. And how that has to happen is somehow he's got to flush out everything that's happened so far and almost start over and get back.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. A minute 59 to go in the first half. Back with more NFC playoff action after this. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And his throw here is incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
On 3rd down, that's Wagner. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And the Lions will take over. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. He personally is playing poorly, but the bottom line is his team's winning. He probably feels, oh, hey, if I can right the ship, we can really extend this lead.
Just try and get back to being the player he knows he can be and continuing to be the leader that he has to be. Doesn't matter whether he's playing real well or not. When you're winning the game, everything's good. It really got to treat it like it's sunshine. Hey, everything's great. That's what he has to continue to do, and I'm with you. He wants to play better to make sure he's a part of it.
He wants to flip those interceptions and touchdown numbers. 2 INTs, no touchdowns. On first down, Morrow. Throw left side complete. It's Moody. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Back to throw. Morrow. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way. A dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well.
Green 39! Green 39!
From the gun on 3rd down. Morrow. And he comes back with one complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Hurry up, here we go.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Morrow. Now he's got it. 19 yards that time for number 19.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A little antsy on the left side of the line.
Yeah, I think they got the guy in the end. I think they got the DN there on that one. And let's face it, he is so amped up, wanting to get a good get-off on the snap, jump too quickly.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, 1st and goal.
Set, 3-19.
They'll look to throw again. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Lions are able to grow their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead grows to 10-0. So that a 7-play, 80-yard drive. And it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Final 12 seconds of the half now, as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wild card matchup. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The second of our 2 games here on this wild card Saturday is at halftime. We'll get back to you two in just a second. But first, let's take a look ahead to Sunday's action in the NFC. A 3-6 battle that ought to be a good one, as it'll be the Carolina Panthers taking on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, in our game, it took a little while to get settled in, but we were in for a battle royale in this second half. And to call the action, let's go back to the guys who've been there all year, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call? Yeah. We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Garoppolo. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. Now a handoff looking right. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. And on the ground they go with a running back. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That goes for a gain of 31.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he spins through. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
All right, here we go. Green.
And they'll go on the ground. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
1 quarter remains in this NFC wild card matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4.
All right, here we go. Boom, 90.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Operating from the gun. Morrow able to shake him off. And he can't get away forever, and down he goes.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for Detroit. And now back out comes the offense. Right now, Charles, this is the drive of the season. You're on the road here in the playoffs. It's put up or shut up. They need points.
This is where you have to come together as a team, as you just noted, on the road. So that means they've carried that mentality with them throughout. Hey, we've got to go on the road. We've got to rely on ourselves, right? Focus, yet still find the fun in it. How great is this, guys? Look at the spot we're in right now. And then go to your top players, call the plays that they run best.
Yeah, sort of controlling their own destiny, but this place has been loud. Not going to be easy.
But that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down.
Here we go.
Garoppolo to throw on second down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 23 yards on the play.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll make it a second down. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. And this is incomplete. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Garoppolo again. And this is going to be incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
One score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Now Garoppolo, got to have this one. And that is incomplete. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. So the failure to convert, no doubt, really hurts. But this one's not over. A good chunk of time on the clock and the timeouts.
Yeah, not only do they have the timeouts, as you just noted, they're going to get an extra one with the 2-minute warning. And that's going to help them big way. So in a sense, they have 4 timeouts in their pocket. The big thing, stopping them on defense now. They can't let them get a first down and make them use their timeouts and get a fresh set of downs. They've got to stop them right here. And if so, they've still got an opportunity.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
Throwing on first down. Morrow. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Now let's go.
On 1st and 10, Morrow. And this is caught at the 8. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. They come up in an offset eye. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches. He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. A great effort there. Taking it in. And the Lions use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 17-3. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Clock running here, under 90 seconds to go. To throw is Garoppolo. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Garoppolo now, first down throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd. It's Garoppolo. Over the middle, complete. It's Hart. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one goes for 24 yards. On first down, Garoppolo. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31. Defensively rallying to the ball after the nice move. 7 yards on the play, and it's a 2nd down. And the spike comes now with just under 40 ticks left. The Niners on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. Garoppolo looks to throw once more. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down. Now whistles here, and I think one of the big boys for the 49ers might have jumped.
False start, offense.
Had some momentum going, driving down the field. That'll set him back 1st and 15.
I mean, that type of play, when you've got to go in your direction, shoot, my man Old Mo is arching an eyebrow at him right now. You've got me going. Keep me going.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them. Now Garoppolo. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. And a wild card win moves them on to the divisional round.
Everyone plays all year long for the right to get into the tournament, as they like to call it. Wild card, divisional, doesn't matter to them. One moves on, one goes home.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Lions as we say so long from Ford Field.